saved the ladybird, falling from a tree, drowning in the water. I picked it up.
So you called the album In Two Worlds.
Yeah.
What is the inspiration or the reason behind that title?
So In Two Worlds. So off the back of the lockdown, I think it really made me think, you know, because I was thinking like, you know, there's a lot of people that probably dabbled in a little bit of mental health, you know, whether it be depression, anxiety, all of the things that was going on our screens in front of us, that was going on in the world at that time. And we just sort of had to sit with those feelings, you know. So I spent a lot of time on my own. I'm a thinker, but I had a lot of time to think,
Right.
So I started imagining this, you know, person that was struggling with their reality. And so what they did is they created this other world where they had everything that they'd ever wanted. And I started imagining sort of this inner child in me.
Right.
And I went all the way into that, and I really looked at this little girl inside of me, like, what did she really want? Okay, so if I was to imagine probably what I wanted, it would have probably been this Barbie girl with like long blonde hair, a really big house, a car or two, a massive wardrobe, you know, like all these materialistic things, a perfect husband, like all of these things that you're kind of sold as a little girl. That was probably it.
Right.
And so then I thought to myself, okay, what do I do if I imagine I am now that woman? I've grown up with all of these things. Who would I be? How would I feel? And so this other world is basically me realizing that while I'm spending time in this other world, it's not really all it's cracked up to be. It's not perfect. Like, there's no such thing as perfect. So that was kind of me creating this other world. But amongst that, I went and did a tarot reading with my friend.
Ooh, okay.
Where, I don't know if you know much about tarot.
It never usually ends well.
Yeah, do you know, and a lot of people think it's a pile of crap, but for me, I had a really, really good experience with tarot. And it, like, the cards that I drew that day, I was like, it was exactly what I wanted to hear. So basically the first card was called Eight of Swords.
Right.
And it kind of sparked the whole idea for this project. So it's this woman who's tied up in ropes and chains and blindfolded, and then she is like in this big sort of space, and she's got 8 swords in front of her. 2 of the swords have got a gap in between them.
Right.
And then there's a castle in the background. And basically the message is, if only she could take off her blindfold, untie herself, she'd be able to walk through the gap. And then she'd be able to get to the castle in the distance, and all her dreams will be waiting for her, right? But we get so stuck with the narrative that we tell ourselves. We get so defined by, you know, how we were raised, like what we believe, like all of these things that might helped us survive at some point in our lives. But then eventually they become like walls and blocks.
Right.
And so, I really related to that. And I felt like, you know, at that point, there'd been a whole lockdown, yes, things that I couldn't control, things out of my control. But at the same time, there was also things in my head, things that I've been telling myself my whole life.
Right.
You know, doubts and confidence things and stuff like that, that were holding me back and that had become blocks, you know. So I was like, what is this thing that's stopping me from being able to get from here to here?
Right.
You know, why is it that some people can live, that some people are living their dreams and some people are so far away from them? You know, sometimes they're things that we can't control, but sometimes they are things that we can change, you know, and we can strip all those things away and literally start again. Like, you can wake up tomorrow and decide to you know, feel a different way about something. So this project is very much a journey of that, you know, unraveling what these two worlds are. And
Right.
yeah.
So I mean, I noticed you also had a bit of help when you was creating this world, like sonically. About a year ago, we had an interview with Pitch 92.
Yeah,
we spoke really highly about the creative process. And how this came together. So do you want to elaborate a bit more on how you found the production team, how you found the sound that you wanted for this?
Yeah, so what I love about Pitch 92 is that he is a beat maker. Like, he is just honestly one of the best when it comes to hip hop beats. And I think what I was drawn to with him was that I am very much like, you know what I was saying about I see the vision, but I also hear all of the sounds. So a lot of the time I'm very, very involved in the production. And with Pitch, he like allowed me that, you know, he allowed me to like bring in the musicians, write with the musicians, like all of the parts exactly how I wanted it to sound. And yeah, he kind of gave me that creative freedom, which I'm really grateful for, because a lot of producers, they're amazing, but they kind of are like, all right, I take control of this and you take control of this. And for this project, like, I was just hearing so much and I had so many ideas. So to be able to work with someone that allowed me to pretty much co-produce this project was really wicked. Yeah, so I'd sort of have this idea, and then we'd work together on the beat, and then we'd bring in the musicians, and then it was very much, yeah, a case of just like going through every single part together. Some of them I finished on my own, because I was like, I need to take this and just think about it, like this guitar, or whether it was the vocal takes. Most of them I did at home on my own. So yeah, it was very much like a lockdown project as well, you know. Still like us coming out of that, a lot was done at home. But yeah, Pitch with the drums, like, he smashed them.
Yeah, nice. And so did he also give you the confidence to want to like spit some bars as well, like just
his
widen
beats,
the dynamics?
like you can't not when you hear his beats, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, like, it's always been, because I'm a soul singer. I'm definitely not a rapper, but I listen to a lot of rap, and I love hip hop drums. And you know, I love neo soul and I love R&B, but I wouldn't say I'm like an R&B artist, really.
Right.
I'm from Brighton. We listen to reggae and hip hop. There, you know, I had a reggae, I had an R&B phase for sure. I was obsessed with Beyonce, Alicia Keys. I still, you know, I'm more of a soul head probably. But yeah, when people sort of bring me these sort of lighter R&B, like more neo soul beats, sometimes it's exactly what the song needs, but most of the time I'm like, I need this to smack. Like, there's something in me that's like I need that aggressive, I need that hip hop, like, and Pitch just gets that. But occasionally, like for Ladybird, he brought me this beat that was already complete, and I heard it and I was like, wow, if I sing over these melodies, it's kind of just gonna get in the way. So yeah, I just felt like, you know, especially if it's a sample that's repeated, it needs more of a story and it needs more rhythm and it needs the words. So yeah, that just came out. I was like, I'm hearing this, and then yeah, Ladybird was just one that just sort of came out like that.
Right.
Yeah.
So you know Beyonce's got like the Sasha Fierce. Like, what's the name of like rapper Iyamah?
I don't know. Do you know what? It's just Iyamah. Like, there's so many sides to me. And that's the beautiful thing about this name as well, and why I connected to it. Is like, I am not one thing. You know, I am so many things. We all are. We're all made up of so many things, and I think sometimes we're like, this is who I am. This is where I fit in, and I'm never gonna change. This is where I was raised. These are my friends, and we get very like comfortable in this identity. And the whole sort of thing of Iyamah is sort of showing people that, you know, there's probably a whole side of you that you don't know. And if you just explore it, you know, if you just like see what's there. And you know, I've got my mate Coops, like, he's a very, very good rapper, as I'm sure you're aware. And he was like, Iyamah, like, you need you need my help, you know, like, and he's right, like, you know, sometimes you're not going to be that good at something, but at the same time, you know, it's like with my ukulele, I'm not the best player, but what it gives me is something so beautiful that it would be silly not to explore it, you know. So you had you spoke about Coops, but you had Kofi Stone on the album. So what affected the decision to choose Kofi and have him on the track? He is just He is a wordsmith, and he is just like one of the best storytellers as well. And I felt like he would just he would know exactly what to do. Sometimes it's almost like I don't have control over who I work with. They just they just come into your life at the right time, and you just go, okay, well, here we go then, let's do this. It was very much the case with Coops and with Kofi Stone. I'm just lucky to have worked with, you know, two phenomenal rappers.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Just saved a lady, but